What's up, everyone? Welcome to Power Play with CJ. Today, focusing on the Columbus Blue Jackets losing Nathan Horton for 6 weeks with abdominal surgery, and the consensus is every other playoff team should be looking at their chops. But Columbus was playing pretty well without Horton being, a really huge factor for them this season. 18 points in 35 games is not bad, but considering what they're paying him, you'd like to see a little bit more. And I'm a huge Nathan Horton fan. He's an amazing playoff player. He definitely would have helped Columbus in the playoffs, but I just don't think that it's as big of a loss as the people making it out to be. I think when you got the depth they do offensively, and the way their younger guys have stepped up, namely Johansson, Atkinson, guys like that, that pill's a little bit a little bit easier to swallow. So again, I'm not knocking Horton. I love him, one of my favorite players, but at the same time, you got to look at the big picture for the Jackets, and that's he scored 4 goals in 35 games. Again, great playoff player, but they need the experience because he's been there, played in 2 Stanley Cup Finals, won a Stanley Cup, all that. But at the same time, you got to have, you look at everything for Columbus. And I hate to put it like this, especially given some of the other contracts in hockey, but I think Columbus the Horton contract will never really be in David Clarkson category because Horton's proven he's an amazing player, not just 150 season. But when you look at the injuries the last couple of years, even going back 2 years ago with the Bruins when he had that concussion stuff in that game against Philly, he really hasn't been the player many people think he should be. Again, he was a force to be reckoned with last year in the playoffs for the Bruins, and the year before that really, and actually the regular season, he kind of struggled with 22 points through 43 games. But I think with regards to Horton, I'm not going to say he's overrated. I think most people know what he is. He's a good top 6 forward, power forward, can bring in tenacity and can score some clutch goals. But people making a lot more than he is. I think you risk, you lose what he actually is. Which I sound like a broken record, just repeating myself. But again, with Horton, I like him. I don't like the contract he has. I think in a couple of years Columbus will be regretting that. He brings you so much. He's a good offensive player. Good, not great. Brings you leadership, brings you tenacity, can hit and all that stuff. But at the same time, he's not worth that deal. And that contract's gonna be a tough pill to swallow. With, the guys in Columbus. Johansson needs a new contract. Mario probably needs a new contract after. Not next season after. And it's just it's a tough deal. But I think. Columbus is still, they obviously clinched a playoff spot. Depending upon who they play, they could make some noise, but I think, I just think that they're a year away. Once that young talent is together for a little bit longer, they'll be in amazing shape and can definitely make some noise come the playoffs. I'm very intrigued to see what Johansson becomes. I've been a fan of him since Portland Winterhawk days, so we'll see how that all works out. Anyway, that's like on this episode of the Power Play with CJ on Columbus losing Nathan Horton. Stay tuned for more episodes throughout the season and beyond. Later, guys.